know C++. So I'm just going to create a new Unity project here in my folder. We're going to call this tutorial project. All right, awesome. And I'm going to go to Holojam, which we all just saw. I'm going to go back to the Holojam link, which is not on RRR. Okay, I'm not doing my net. Okay, I'm going to go to releases, and you'll notice the latest release, version 0.2.4. I'm downloading the 0.2.4 Unity package. There it is. Awesome. And I'm going to go to Unity just to show you all visually here. You go to downloads. I see. There we go. There's my latest package. It looks like I downloaded it before, actually. Sorry for the screen size here. So I'm going to import my custom package here. As we can see, this is it, right? And it's going to pair itself. I'm going to see a bunch of things here. It's going to import all of that. And here we go. And immediately in our project directory, we can see, as soon as it loads, Holojam and the plugin stuff, which is for the Oculus API and various things getting Gear VR working. But what matters is Holojam. And here we have all the code and everything that you would ever need. The important bit is the demo, which has everything set up. So for people that want to get in this space, they can go here and actually check out a lot of what we have working already. And the demo scene, here's the demo scene that I showed previously, and everything's just here. But say you want to do it completely from scratch, which I recommend just making a duplicate of the demo scene, leaving what you don't want. But of course, I'm going to demonstrate doing everything from scratch here. So, and this is just regular Unity housekeeping, don't mind me here. Now keep in mind, you will have to set up your project for Android beforehand, so you can actually build Android phones. All right, so this is our empty scene. There's nothing here. So first I'm going to add a server object to the server. And this is usually is going to be in all the scenes, but just showing how that works. And now actually I'm going to go back and connect to RRR, which is our local network here that we use to build stuff. And I'm going to hit play. And the first thing that you'll notice is packets are coming through. Looks like I'm getting about 500 packets on the receive thread, which is great, which means I'm getting packets from the server. And here you can see all the labels for awesome things that are being tracked coming in the server. So that's awesome. We don't have anything in here, which is not so awesome. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a boundary. You can call this whatever you want. I'm going to call it my boundary. And I'm going to add the script called holobounds. And it should have the, so normally you actually don't want to do that from scratch. Just use the prefab that we've provided for you, which is right here. And this prefab is pre-calibrated for our existing space. Now, if you want to use Holojam in a space that's not here, you can calibrate it yourself by actually dragging a tracker to the calibrator, and I'll show you what trackers are in a second. So this is an example. Holobounds also comes with a script that procedurally generates the fence, and the fence is Vive-esque. It's when you walk towards the edge of the track space, and it's like, oh no, you're going to get untracked, and that would be really bad. So it displays a fence thing that glows when you're close to it, so you're like, okay, I'm going to walk this way. So that works. And at this point, if you had a mesh, you know, my awesome world dot blend or whatever it is, you know, you can just drag it in here, and all I have is a cube, unfortunately. But let's say this is your world, and you can say, hey, I want to scale this so that it's where the floor is. You take a look, and you're like, oh, here's the floor. And now everybody that's walking around will be relatively scaled to this position. And Holobounds is preset to have height. It's roughly the average height of a room, and so you can imagine your head is going to be in a decent position. Okay, so at this point, if you want to track anything, now once again, our hardware detection system here works with a particular configuration of these reflective balls, and each individual configuration corresponds to a different label on the server. So it looks at this and it says, hey, this is left hand 2, and this is right hand 2, and it says, oh, I see the three-dimensional configuration, and as you can see here, everything has a different one. So I happen to know right now that because I pressed play and I went to my server, there are several labels coming in, such as VR1 box. So if I want to say, hey, I want a box to track with the label, it's going to create a new cube in the scene here. And everything is scaled to meters. And I know that I want my box to be about 100 centimeters, which is 0.1 of a meter. Remember that from physics in high school. And I'm just going to add this component called trackable, which allows you to, and you see the gizmo comes up here, allows you to map it to any label that we have. It's already set up for box 1, which is great. Now I'm going to press play in RRR, and yeah, I don't have a camera, but as you can see, it actually is tracked here. And as the cube moves, you see updates in our virtual world. Okay. That is the basic of the basics. For actually getting stuff built to phones, we have this component here called the Actor Manager. The Actor Manager is something that says, okay, I'm going to take care of a lot of that stuff with the phones. And so we drag the Actor Manager in here. Okay, and I'm also going to drag the viewer. And the viewer manages all the really hard mathy stuff that takes care of what's going on with the sensor fusion between the IMU data on the phone and the Gear VR and the optical tracking. And so 9 times out of 10, you don't have to worry about that. You just drag it into the scene, everyone's happy. This is where, if you've used Unity before, you actually mess with your camera settings for VR. For example, the clear flags and stuff like that, if you have a skybox. But generally, that just works. So the last thing I'm going to do here is show you how to set up a new player. So I'm just going to drag this guy here. Call this guy, well, I'm not calling anything. I'm going to add the actor component, which we have already set up. And this actor script is actually heavily extensible. So if you happen to open this up in code, you would see the documentation there. If you ever want to do anything funky with your character controllers, weird offsets, or start working with different parts of the body, you can extend it in code there in C#. But for now, we're just going to do something really basic. And here you can see, as I stated previously, the eyes and the view vector. So like I said, that is definitely going to correspond to these 2 circles on the gear and where it's looking, which is great, because if you want to set up your own player, all you got to do is drag your own model in. So I have some example models here. Here's a mask. I'm going to drag it in. Say, okay, I look at that. Wow, that is not right. I don't want to be looking at his nose. Now, keep in mind that this is what the position of what the person on the camera is going to be seeing, but also what everybody else in the scene is going to be seeing as a representation of other people. So if I had this set up incorrectly, now when I see another guy walking towards me, I'm going to be looking eye to eye, but I'm actually just going to be seeing a giant mask where his nose is, which probably isn't too great. So instead what I'm going to do is just scale this down a little bit to where it seems natural, and drag it down here, put it here, and there we go. Looks pretty good. So I'm going to drag this mask into the mask, drag through here, and what that basically does is when you are in VR space, you don't want to see your own mask in front of you, obviously. So you can drag in stuff there that you want to be not rendered at runtime. Okay, awesome. And I'm just going to drag that under Actor Manager, and look, it automatically got set up here. Now you'll notice that on the Actor Manager, my build tag is headset 1, which corresponds to this actor, which is tagged with headset 1. Now if I chose headset 2, for example, you can notice that now it's rendering a mask because it's not the camera. And you also note if I go back to headset 1, which I can view in here, the camera at runtime will also move to match where this is. As a matter of fact, we can just test this here with wherever headset 1 is for the blue tag. As you can see, our new player is working and happy. Cool. And that's pretty much it. At this point, you can make some duplications of this. You can assign them different colors, which is useful for differentiation. You can give it headset 3, give this guy headset 2, make him blue. Maybe call this guy blue dude. Over here is his red man. This is white woman. And you can move these people around, and they will automatically configure themselves to work with the headsets. And as you can see here, number 1 is tracked because he's in the space, the guy that I just moved. And you'll notice that headset 3 is untracked because it's not in the space, but as soon as I move it in, that flag will set to track, and the position data starts working. And now it's untracked, and now it's tracked again. lastly, I'm just going to demonstrate a quick feature that we have. You'll notice nothing is lit here. So if I want to create a light, I find the light here, point light. And the thing about this is, I could move it to where I want it, or I could actually use this component that we have called something, bounds offset, which when I drag in the hollow bounds that we created previously here, and I set an offset, it will automatically align itself to wherever the hollow bounds is currently positioned. And that comprises the basic feature set of the SDK. Of course, there's the synchronizables, there's a lot of other cool things, there's the parable system, but that's all you need to know to get set up and running. What's up?
This is jumping ahead to a more advanced topic. Have you guys rebuilt the inverse kinematics so we can add bodies to the avatars?
We have not.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a deprecated system, of course, as we all know, for IK. We have not built it for the new system. It's technically not a requirement of the SDK, but it is a cool feature to have. And I'm sure we'll probably hit that in the future as we do more testing on, hey, what's a good interaction for interacting with multiple people? What's
I
good for
believe
them?
that is a priority as far as things that are going to happen next.
Say that again?
I believe that's a priority for things that are going to be happening in the near future.
What's up?
Can you bring it back to